Hey everybody, it's Captain Kyle. I'm here with two Earthspark Deluxe figures. I have Grimlock. Me, Grimlock, happy to be here. And Nightshade, which I think is a poison, but you know, it's also a Terran Transformer. And not only are these the latest two of the Deluxe Transformers Earthspark figures, they're the last two for the Build-A-Figure. So I am going to be building Mandroid. So stick around for that. But first I'm going to go through these guys, see if they're cool, and see if they're going to fit in your collection. Be right back. All right, so as I said, we have Nightshade and Grimlock. We're going to go with Grimlock first because, you know, of the G1 thing. And I do have to say with these oddly shaped boxes, sometimes it's a bit of a challenge to figure out the best way to open them. But here he is, and here's a shitty piece of paper. Let's get rid of that. Instructions, and there he is on his, well, he's on his plastic prison. You can see there's the leg, which is one of the final pieces for Mandroid. It's got a gun and the figure himself. So let's pop these plastic pieces and get them all over my table. And he's got a lot of plastic, so this is not plastic-free packaging. This is, wow. They really want to make sure he's in here good, huh? Suppose that's not a bad thing since you can reach inside the package. So there is Grimlock in all his glory. He actually reminds me quite a bit of the G1, though obviously a lot more plastic, a lot less translucent plastic. And there's the leg, the final leg for Mandroid. But let's check out this figure. He seems pretty cool thus far. There's his front view. Here's his back view, and you can see his Tyrannosaurus head is in the back, very similar to G1. And he's got the little arms that he can't masturbate with when he's in dino mode right here. But let's check out his posability. So first off, full Jean-Claude Van Damme. There we go. He can kick forward, back, really far, go off to the side. It's a ball joint. And he also has a swivel. So obviously that's for both legs. He does have ankle rockers, so you can put him in a nice wide pose. He does twist at the waist somewhat, but there are these little ridges here that keep it from going all the way around. So it's just a partial twist at the waist. But still, good for posing. The arms are on ball joints. They can't go quite all the way around. You can make them go all the way around if you push his little dino wings back. The fists don't twist. The head turns, though not all the way around because of this plate in the back. But you can turn from side to side, so that's a nice feature. And he can kind of look up and down, so he's got that going on for him. So there he is. He's got this nice weapon that's a little reminiscent of his original gun. Not exact, and obviously not the same color, but still not bad. Again, the back view, and you can see inside his legs, there is a tail. So that, no doubt, is going to come out during the transformation. But overall, a cool deluxe figure. This whole line is more directed towards younger fans and fans of the show. He's pretty faithful to the show as far as how he looks, but this is not nearly going to be as complex as, say, a legacy figure. But still, you may want him for your collection. And he may be very similar in some respects to ones from the buzzworthy Bumblebee line. I haven't collected all that line, so I'm not sure how Grimlock is in that line. But for all I know, this is a minor retooling, or it could be a new mold, who knows? All right, so we've taken a look at the robot mode. Let's take a look at the dino mode. So there's Grimlock in his dino mode, and I have to say, I'm actually impressed. The transformation was a little bit more complex, okay, a lot more complex, than I actually thought it would be. His legs actually go on the top and the bottom and nicely cover his head, which is behind there. And he actually looks pretty cool. I mean, for looking very similar in robot mode to the G1, having such a different transformation, I'm a little impressed with this. Again, I don't know if it's the same transformation as any of his buzzworthy Bumblebee or, you know, Cyberverse incarnations, but pretty impressive. Now his head can move a little bit, and his jaw can open really, really wide. I don't know that that's healthy to open it up quite that wide. And of course, the legs can move back and forth. And since they can move out a little bit, you can put them into some relatively dynamic dino poses. The front arms don't move at all, so definitely masturbation is out for this guy. Even if they weren't so short, they're not mobile. But he's got the tail, which doesn't really move, but you know, imagination. I say that a lot in these videos. And he does have his weapon on top, weapon storage, and you know, additional firepower. Though he can probably open his mouth and breathe fire, because you know, that's what Tyrannosauruses did? No, they didn't. I mean, we weren't there, but pretty sure they didn't. So there's Grimlock, not a bad guy. Feast your eyes, check him out. My hands aren't in the way, so you can see him in all his glory. We'll give you a back view. Okay, stop looking at his ass. Give him the other side view. Not bad. And again, a much more clever transformation than I anticipated. All right, let's try this one, opening them up from the top, just for giggles. So Nightshade is not an Autobot or a Decepticon. He is a Terran. And there he is in his packaging. You can see he's got wings that have been detached, the bot, some type of weapon or accoutrement. Looks like a couple knives, which is kind of cool. And the torso of the Build-A-Figure. And the shitty piece of paper. So there is the torso, as you can see, of Mandroid. And we'll be putting him together really soon. Well, let's get him free of this plastic stringed prison. Now, Nightshade changes into an owl type beast, as you can see on the packaging there. So, if the glare is not too much. So, referring to the instructions for attachment of the wings, which looks pretty simple. Now, FYI, the wings are not identical. There is a left and a right one, so put them on the correct sides. You can basically tell because there's a little post that goes in the front, but the material, the plastic material, is a little rubbery, so you can easily flex it into place. But when you have it done, you want the post to go in the front, so it's going into the back right there. So there is Nightshade. Zoom in a little on him, so you can see him in his glory. Or is Nightshade the non-binary one? I'm trying to remember. Now, I know some of you are like, oh my god, political correctness. How can they have a non-binary transformer? Well, when you think about it, are these robots even male and female? They're actually all kind of non-binary because they're certainly not biologically male or female. It's just the personalities that they choose for themselves or were initially programmed with, but they could change or decide that they are not necessarily identifying as a male robot because they don't got penises anyway, or a female robot. So, but Nightshade is a cool looking figure. You can definitely see there's the back view. Oop, little wobbly. Little spindly. Ah! Don't fall over. But there's the back view. Now let's check out I just took off their leg. So it does not appear that Nightshade can do a full Jean-Claude Van Damme without popping off the legs. So much for that. Nightshade does have ankle swivels and heels. Not high heels, just heels. So you can put them in a wide stance. Can kick forward very high, can kick back even higher. Bends at the knee, swivels. There's a swivel right near the knee joint, right above. There does not appear to be any twisting at the waist, so not twisted. The arms are on ball joints, but while they have some maneuverability, you can kind of go all the way around if you fold back the wing. There's no twisting on the fist, but nice weapon, bending at the elbow, swivel on the arm, turning of the head. And there's additional posability with the wings because they can go way back, they can flap forward, they can kind of move forward on these ball joints so that they're a little bit more like a cape. Kind of reminds me of somebody in The Watchmen. Let me know in the description if you know what I'm talking about. But other than the color, if this was black, change it to a bat, it'd be, I am Batbot. Because I'm Batbot. But pretty posable, and I think it's a cool looking figure overall. So there they are in all their bot glory. So feast your eyes. I'm going to refer now to the instructions, and it does not look like it's going to be too difficult. Kind of have an idea looking at the back because you can see the owl face right there, what's going to happen. But let's take out these weapons and check out beast mode for the Terran. So there they are in their owl mode. It's actually a very clever transformation, not as complicated by a bit like Grimlock just because of the weird twisting. But still a clever transformation. I believe this is a brand new mold entirely because, well, there hasn't been an owl before. Well, not in this line or Cyberverse. Obviously, if you recall, there were some owls in Transmetal 2 Beast Wars. If you want to know who, well, look it up. But the wings are pretty posable. You can also fold them around like that. So a pretty neat owl. Now, weapon storage, let's see. I am actually not seeing any indication of weapon storage, which is a little annoying. I mean, I'd hate to lose these really cool looking daggers. I see it. You can actually take the daggers and you attach them to the wings. So there we go. And obviously you can attach the daggers to the wings in robot mode as well for storage. And the instructions don't actually show how to put them in there. You just have to kind of look and say, oh, you can put them in there. But there is Nightshade in all their glory. All right, but as I promised, we are going to do a little assembly. So in this batch, we got a leg and a torso. But previously I got a leg, a head, there's a little head, kind of reminds me of Plastic Man, a human arm, 2 robotic arms, and this thing that looks like it's out of Alien that provides, I guess, additional stuff. So let's put Mandroid together. Head popped on easy enough. 1 leg, 2 leg. The right arm is on a swivel, so it's a little bit of a pain. If I can find the right angle. There we go. Right arm is in. The backpack attaches. It might be easier to put the little rib protecting things on before putting on the backpack. Now the confusing thing is Mandroid has 2 left arms, and there's no way to attach them both at once. So I think this one's interchangeable. So if you want Mandroid as powerful as possible, then you will give him both the robotic arms. But there he is in his hybrid glory. Stands pretty well, actually. Now, posability-wise, the legs can go forward and back, but there is no Jean-Claude Van Damme. They swivel, though, which is nice, but they don't bend at the knee. There's no twisting at the waist. The arms could pretty much go all the way around, but they run into these additional limbs in the back, which one just fell out. But it's easy enough to reattach. And the head, of course, can turn all the way around, which is not something most humans can do. These pop off pretty easily, but they are additional things, you know, that way he can be firing at the Autobots while, you know, going to the bathroom. Or scratching his ass, you know, because that happens sometimes. You get an itchy ass. But a pretty cool figure. I have to admit, this is my first Build-A-Figure that I ever completed. I have some parts of McAdam somewhere, but I don't think I got all the figures for that. And I've never done any of the Marvel ones that, the Legends that came with pieces to build a bigger figure. Never did that, so I don't even think there was like a Transmutate Build-A-Figure. I think back in when they were redoing some of the Beast Wars figures in one of the Universe or Generations lines, and I never got all those either. So this is my first Build-A-Figure, so I'm so happy. I've got Mandroid. He's not a bad looking figure. He basically resembles what he looks like on the show. And if you've collected all these, or you know, if you want to, then you can have your very own Mandroid. There's usually not a ton of figures in the Transformers that are human. There's like Kicker from Energon. There's the new Rise of the Beast, that dude in his exosuit. There's a couple exosuits for Daniel and Spike, but really not a ton of humans, so, or cyborgs for that matter. There you have it. We have Nightshade, Grimlock, and finally Mandroid. 2 cool deluxe figures. They go for like 20 bucks a piece, $19.99. So the Energon Deluxes are a little bit less expensive than the Legacy Deluxes. And if you want to get these guys, I will put a link in the description. You can check them out, add them to your collection, and if you have the other ones, build your own Mandroid. And while you're mulling these over, you can check out over here. I actually have a few of the other deluxe figures that I've reviewed. Worth taking a look. And I really hope you're enjoying these videos as much as I enjoy making them. We'll see you next time. As always, have fun and good hunting.